Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts. And I'm excited to kick off Season 2 of our podcast series in partnership with Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. It's called We Are REC. Every week we'll release a new episode talking to different people from REC about a host of different topics. We'll get tips for saving money on your electric bill. We'll talk about renewable energy and the impact it can have in our communities. We'll get some behind-the-scenes info about what happens when the power goes out in a storm. Don't miss out on information about community grants, scholarships, REC-hosted events, and more. Get every single episode on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or on Spotify. Just do a quick search for We Are REC. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday. As you are listening to the show today, we, however, have pre-recorded our conversation on a Monday morning. And it's interesting, Justin, I have to tell you, I was a little concerned because when I logged onto Zoom this morning, there is an outage up and down the East Coast, and the website version of Zoom wouldn't work. But thankfully, the app thing on my desktop worked, so I was a little concerned. I got three radio shows to record today.
We're here.
And
maybe that would explain where Josh is. Okay, well,
that could be. So if you don't recognize that voice, obviously it is Justin Kearns. He is with the Winchester Frederick County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and you've got a fun topic in store for us today.
Yeah, we thought this would be really good timing for this right now, especially with a lot of people finding themselves still working from home, a lot of people finding themselves homeschooling, and they will be looking for, it'll be great for the first week or two, and then they're going to be like, I got to get out of the house. So we'll find some outdoor opportunities for people. We know that they're, especially with the weather hopefully cooling off a little bit, we get into this beautiful late summer, early fall time where it's just fantastic to get outside. And we know that a lot of people know about, kayaking or tubing on the Shenandoah River. A lot of people know about, the trails up at the Third Battle of Winchester. They're the Tuscarora Trail or the Appalachian Trail, obviously over here just to the east. So a lot of people know about those, but there's so many great outdoor opportunities, outdoor recreation opportunities. So we wanted to kind of bring in a couple of experts here and dig into some of those opportunities that maybe not everybody knows about. So that's the topic today.
So who did you bring with you?
We have got Arthur Kearns from Winchester Cider Works, but also from Seneca Rocks. He's been doing Seneca Rocks much longer than Winchester Cider Works, and he is a great resource for rock climbing outdoors. And he also used to own the Mountain Trails store that is in Old Town Winchester. And so he just through that experience, he knows a lot, obviously, about all of the outdoor recreation opportunities. And we also have Gary Green on. And Gary Green is the new owner of Mountain Trails, the store. And so just through those two, there's so much knowledge just through the store and through what they do of all the great opportunities there are. So I figured I'd let them talk about all the experiences their customers have and just everything that they learn.
So Gary, I'm guessing that Mountain Trails is one of the few businesses that didn't really have a lull when the pandemic started, because immediately I think everybody just wanted to be outside. Did you kind of get lucky in that perspective and see a lot of people coming in saying, get me ready to spend some time outdoors?
In many ways, yes, we did. We were forced to close for about 3 weeks, which we were doing what they asked us to do. But really, about the minute that we reopened, the outpouring of Shop Local love was just overwhelming, really, to tell you the truth. But the thing is, the museums were closed and the libraries were closed and the amusement parks were closed. And so we saw an influx of first-time, particularly small family, first-time campers coming out. So lots of tents, lots of sleeping bags, lots of information and setting up trips and this sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, suddenly, the outdoors had always been a healthy and a good thing to do, but suddenly people didn't have other things that occupied their time and they all decided they were going to come outside and play.
And I think a lot of us, even though I think sometimes, I mean, I like to think of myself as an outdoors person, but the truth of the matter is I get much further than my driveway and I'm too exhausted or the bugs get to me or it's too hot.
That
So
happens.
the person that I want to be is that person that goes on those trails and does the rock climbing and all that. I'm not sure she really exists.
It's never too late, let me tell you.
So Arthur, that brings me to you. Rock climbing, really? People do that?
Oh yes, oh yes. Basically, we have the Scenic Rocks Climbing School. So what we do is we teach people how to rock climb. So you've never done it before. We can do all of that. We do operate locally as well in the Fort Valley area, just south of Winchester. So we have classes that we can run down there. So yeah, if you are interested in getting into rock climbing, we can make that happen.
So Justin, have you ever climbed rocks before on
I
purpose?
have.
On purpose.
I have. Actually, I spent some time in Singapore. You're just going to learn all sorts of interesting things about me. I spent some time in Singapore in high school. And there were some rock climbers there, and we did some rock climbing at Bukatima Nature Preserve, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I learned the term high gravity day. I had a lot of high gravity days. It was fun though. It was a blast. I lived in Boulder, Colorado too, so I did a lot of indoor rock climbing there. Some outdoor, but a lot of indoor rock climbing there.
So
Yeah,
is
no, absolutely. It's
high
so much fun.
gravity a fancy way of saying falling down?
Yeah.
Or difficult getting off the ground to begin with.
Difficult getting off the ground. Yep. You get 10 feet up and you can't get the holds right. You just can't, you're just not on. And it's just a high gravity day, man. It just doesn't, the earth doesn't want you to go up.
17 feet per second on the way down, I believe.
Yep. Yep.
So Justin, I would guess that at the visitor center, things are starting to pick back up. We've talked about that over the last couple of months, that you're seeing more and more people that are coming in. Are they looking for these outdoor experiences because there isn't a lot of indoor stuff that can necessarily be done safely right now?
Yeah, we have got this pretty new guide that we had. We work with Shenandoah University. We've worked with them for years on this guide, but Renee just did a tremendous job basically re-envisioning the whole thing. And it's this beautiful outdoor experiences map and guide. And those things have just been flying off the shelf. People are just asking lots of questions of where they can get outside, where they can, obviously the walking mall, people feel very safe in the walking mall. But the outdoor recreation, absolutely. Lots of people, lots of families, people coming in from all over the area, and actually all over the United States. And people are just looking for things to do outside. Absolutely. And we're very fortunate here. We've got so many things, so many opportunities here. They're not all obvious, but we do have a lot of opportunities here.
And that's kind of what you wanted to touch on today, is some of the things that either as residents we have forgotten that we have, or for new people coming into the area, hey, go check this out, because it may not be as crowded, so to speak, because people forget that it's there or don't even know it exists.
Right. Like Josh was supposed to be on. I don't think he's able to make it. They've been so busy over at Element Sports he sells mostly mountain bikes over there, but mountain bikes have been going like crazy, like hotcakes. And we have, like, just for instance, I was going to have him talk about the Frederick County, the Shenandoah mountain bike trail that we have right here in Shenandoah. And it's several miles long, and it's right here. It's free. It's right in our backyard. And most people have no earthly idea that the thing is sitting right there. And it's super easy to get to. Access is really easy now that they opened that park up on Warrior Drive. So you can kind of just bike right into the side of it. And, you can get a bike from over at Element, or bring your own bike. It's a nice, easy trail that people can get onto, and kind of learn how to mountain bike and kind of get that feel for it. And before they go out to, like George Washington National Forest has some great trails out there. And it's a huge space out there, and lots of access out there. But yeah, that's just one of the things. That's just one of the many things. Rock climbing, we have kayaking opportunities. We have other hiking opportunities in the area. But yeah, that's what we're going to talk about.
So Gary, when you have people come into the store and they say, hey, we're looking to go hike a trail, what are some of the questions that you ask them to kind of qualify what kinds of trails you should recommend for them to take on?
That's a good question. A lot of it boils down to just your own physical integrity. What do you expect out of it? How hard do you want to go? How soft do you want to go? It's not always the miles, but how hard the trail might be just to get to the summit of Old Rag, or something like that. So we do try to qualify the customer and put them at their own skill level and their interest level, and then we will lay out trails for them, and hopefully they go and have a good time, and everybody comes home and we go again.
Now, do you guys at the store, including you, have you gone and done most of these trails so that you have your own knowledge of what they're like? I mean, I'm sure you guys have to be pretty well educated on what these trails are to be able to explain and to describe them to people.
I will say that the staff is considerably more experienced than I am with the local trails, and some of these guys know these things like the back of their hand. So oftentimes I'll just pass that off to the folks that are much more intimate knowledge than I have of it. But yeah, I mean, we've gotten out and gone to a few beautiful places. One of the places I think Justin was actually referring to a moment ago is called Patty's Cove, and it's off of Highway 55, just past the Wardensville grade. So I think it's kind of an underused, just completely close by access to just great mountain bike trails, a designated trout stream, good mountain biking in the form of single track, and also closed national forest roads, which is pretty much any family could ride, and access to the Tuscarora, and miles and miles of circuit trails back in there. I was actually, quite shocked and blown away with that was just there. Nobody talks about it, and it's 20 minutes out of Winchester.
And the great thing about that is also just slightly up the hill from that is the Tuscarora Trail, or also known as the Big Blue, and you can hike north from there. Also on your way to that, you would also have access to Eagle Rocks, which is a beautiful hike and a great vista.
See, and all of this is, I feel horrible. Although every month Justin ends up telling me something about my very own community that I was born and raised in that I had no idea existed. I had no idea half of this stuff was even there either. So Justin, you've already checked that box today.
And the great thing is Gary down at the store also has a great collection of maps from the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. It's probably also, he has the Trails Illustrated maps, which you can see this entire area going from, the Sleepy Creek area just north of us all the way down. As we said, you have the Appalachian Trail to the east, but there is a Tuscarora Trail that runs to the west of us, and then dropping down into the GW Forest, popping over to the northern section of the Massanutten Mountain, which is Strasburg Front Royal area. So there's tons of stuff all around us to do. And some of that can be hiking, some of that can be mountain biking. There's also trail running. Don't forget, you can get out there and go for a run.
So, vastly growing sport, trail running, just on fire right now.
Well, really? I have to tell you, because you guys are laughing at me. The people listening on the radio can't see the horrible face that I'm making right now on the Zoom screen. But our station owner is a runner. He teaches, he's a cross-country coach. He is all about the running. He always wears a business suit with his running shoes. And I joke with him that I don't run to my car in a thunderstorm. So the whole thought of running for fun is completely and totally foreign to me. But
on a rocky trail with elevation change, and yeah.
But I've seen people do it on television, so that I know it does exist.
See, I would do that. Mountain biking makes me a little bit nervous because I'm going a little bit too fast when I make a mistake off into a tree. But running, I can do that. I'll be tired after about 50 feet, but it'll be fun.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, can we talk a little bit more? I was going to say let's get in the weeds a little bit more, because that's kind of what we're talking about a little bit. Can we talk a little bit more about trails and other outdoor activities that people probably don't even know is in their backyard?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to do all of that in just a couple of minutes. We are on the Zoom screen today for Tourism Tuesday as you are listening to it. However, for us, it is a Monday morning. We are chatting with Justin Kearns from the Winchester Frederick County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Arthur Kearns and Gary Green are also on the Zoom screen. We're going to talk more with all three of them when we come right back.
Do you know anyone who is struggling with financial hardships because of coronavirus? Our new webinar called Coping with the Money Crunch can help. We'll talk about immediate options to consider, revising or creating a spending plan, and lots of community resources. Then we'll cover how to narrow your priorities, contact creditors, and avoid scams and risky loans. The webinar is free, and you can either join by phone or through Zoom on a smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can find out more by visiting the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program on Facebook or calling Karen Poff at 540-635-4549. Let me show you how to make your own plan or help someone you care about get through the crisis. Call 635-4549 or visit at NSV Financial Education on Facebook today.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday. As you are listening to the show today, we, however, are having a lively conversation on a Monday morning with Justin Kearns from the Winchester-Frederick County Convention and Visitors Bureau. And Justin, I got to say, you've outdone yourself with your outdoor recreation opportunities topic today, because while there was only a 2 or 3 minute break for those listening on the radio, we spent a good 20 minutes talking about all of the stuff there is to do in and around our backyard.
There's so much. And I love the approach that we're going to take here. So I will let you jump right on into, you had a good idea. Let's do it.
Okay, so I am going to turn into 3 people over the course of the next 10 to 15 minutes. The first person is someone who wants to get out, be outdoors, only for the purpose of making my Instagram feed look beautiful. So where can I go outside and get those fantastic photos to get all of the likes on my Instagram feed?
Without getting too much exercise.
Without getting all sweaty and gross.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, we spoke about Eagle Rock earlier, and once again, that is accessed off of 55 going towards Wardensville. And once again, all those, the best way to get any of this stuff done is, swing by mountain trails and get the map so you can plan where you're going and understand how to get there. But that's got some beautiful photos. And then to the north of us, a little bit more of a hike would be Shocky's Knob, I guess. Would be good views up that way.
And you can literally drive to the top of it's Cacapon Mountain State Park. It's just across the West Virginia line. You can actually drive to the top of the mountain. George Washington, of all people, used to ride his horse along that same ridge line back in the day on his way to Berkeley Springs and recreate up there. But it's a grassy old fire road that just runs right along the top of the mountain with just extraordinary views. I mean, you can drive to the top. You don't have to hike to the top. If that Instagram person that likes to stay at home on the couch and then go out and show people that they're becoming wild, that would be a prime location.
And those
You get me, Gary. You really, really get me.
I'm trying hard, Janet. I'm working on it.
Those are beautiful views, and they actually look back across. You have to go into West Virginia to get to them, but they look back across into Frederick County, back over towards Winchester. So yeah.
So now let's say I am the parent of young children, not tiny children, maybe 8, 9, 10, up into the teenage years. And they're all homeschooling at some point, and I need to get them out of the house to give them some fresh air, but I want to sneak some education in on the backside. Are there places I can take them to let them run or walk or hike and learn something at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we had mentioned Third Battle of Winchester. They've done a fantastic job with those trail systems back there, and there's plenty of signage in town. The Abrams Creek wetland area, which is just off of Meadow Branch Road, has a boardwalk and a beautiful little walk in there, so you can go be with nature and still be in town. That does very, very well. So.
And we had mentioned the Cool Springs campus for Shenandoah University. So that's just over into Clark County, and that's right along the Shenandoah River. And it's a beautiful facility. It used to be a golf course. So it's nice and it's laid out. The trails are paved and they kind of follow the Shenandoah River. But when you get there, you pick up a little brochure, and it's actually a little trifold thing. And it goes through and it talks about, there's different stops along the way, and it tells you about the different trees that you see in the roost areas and there's some bat boxes. So you kind of learn all about the ecology of the area as you go through, and you've got this little kind of brochure to walk you through it, and then you put it back in the little thing when you leave. But that's a great opportunity, a great place to bring kids, and it's nice, gentle. You're not going to overdo yourself. And the coolest thing is that right at the end of the loop, the far end of the loop, there's a spot where you can go down and get your feet in the Shenandoah River that's kind of wide out, and you can skip rocks and all that. So it's a really cool, that's a great spot for families.
It sounds like it's a good Instagram spot too. I'm writing that one down.
That is a good Instagram spot too, yes, because you got the river right there. So you're right on the river. It's beautiful. That's a beautiful spot.
So my third person is totally foreign to my inner person, which is the experienced outdoorsman. Say it's somebody who does like to hike. They've been on some of the trails, but now they can't get in the car or get on a plane and go somewhere as their vacation to do it. Where can people go and get a more challenging experience outside? Arthur, is that rock climbing? Is that kind of one of the things that they could consider if they hadn't before?
Absolutely. And so, there are short hikes for rock climbing, which would be the Elizabeth Furnace area that's very, very close to the Elizabeth Furnace campground. Or if you're willing to do a little bit of hiking, same area, but just up on top of the ridge is a place called Buzzard Rocks. And that's accessed on the east side of that ridge. All that, once again, is, I think, laid out in the Massanutten North map. It's not map F, it might be map G. It's been a long time. Or you could hike north on the AT out to a place known to the climbers as Crescent Rocks. Some people call it Ravens Rocks because it's also located very, very close to the Ravens Rocks Road north of Route 7. So those are all good places. But a lot of times, yeah, to get to the good stuff, you might have to walk a little bit.
And we had talked earlier about, I think, the Patty's Cove area, and I think that's just that whole George Washington National Forest we talked about. And I like to make this point that it's not like a state park where everything, is very signed out and you've got, beautiful directionals all over the place and everything is nice and there's, beautiful little parking lots and all that. George Washington National, there's kind of a dirt road that kind of goes off that way. And there's no sign that says there's a dirt road. And you need to know, okay, I need to turn that way and go down there. But then there's tremendous access and all of these big public lands that you can get to. And again, Gary, you have all that information, right?
We have all the maps and guidebooks that you need. And again, the staff that works here are intimately knowledgeable about all of that area.
So Gary, tell me where is your shop? Tell me where you're located so people can come get their maps.
So in Winchester, we're at 115 North Loudon Street in Old Town on the Walking Mall. So you can park wherever you like. It's convenient to park in the Braddock Street parking garage. Just come down to Indian Alley, and that's where we're at.
And then you've got a location in Front Royal as well.
We have one in Front Royal. Yes, it's adjacent to Front Royal Brewing Company.
So I ask you that hoping you would say that so that I could also let Arthur give a quick shout out to Winchester Cider Works, who has been on the show before and is a beautiful place with some yummy libations.
And delicious.
I am good at that.
Free plug. There you go.
And the other thing for people to look into, Winchester Wheelman, which is a local organization for bike riding. They have a lot of road riding as well as would have good knowledge about the local mountain bike trails. Shenandoah Valley Runners, if you're interested in getting out and doing some trail running, they have group runs that they do they used to before the COVID, but they will again. But go out and do some group runs.
And Justin, I think I just saw a press release that there's going to be a new running group for is it the Kernstown battlefield? One of the battlefields is kicking off a running club of some sort. I think maybe I saw a press release about that.
That doesn't surprise me. I've not seen the press release, but I do know that there is a lot of running that goes on at Kernstown. They do a lot of running there, and I think the Hanley track team runs through there there's a lot of trails back up in there. They've cultivated some trails up kind of behind the fields there through the trees. So they've got some good running up there.
Well, and I think everything that we've talked about today, Justin, some of it's been in Winchester, Frederick County. Some of it's been scooched over into Clark. We talked about Kakapen. We've talked about George Washington National Forest. But I think the cool thing for you is that we have a location here where people can use it as their hub. And they can come here and do all of the fun stuff without ever really having to drive more than a half an hour, 45 minutes to get to it.
We are incredibly fortunate of that. I mean, we've got, there's so much right around in the area. So, just obviously up to the northeast, Harper's Ferry, not very far away at all. Half hour, 35 minutes away to the northeast. People forget about it because it's another state away, but it's right there. There's so much right here. The Kakapen, the river, so some great kayaking, just again right up over the West Virginia border. But we are the hub. We've got the Old Town, we've got all the restaurants, we've got the outfitter shops, several outfitter shops, depending on whatever it is that you want. We've got all the resources for that. So that's kind of, we find ourselves at a very fortunate place. You know, there's not much hiking in the city of Winchester, but as soon as you get right outside, it's so beautiful, and we're surrounded by so much gorgeousness and public access. It's just not, again, no big state parks right here on our border, but there's a lot of resources if you just look forward a little bit and you talk to the right people, which is what we're trying to do today, and get you in touch with the right people and let you know where to go. And also, I do want to mention Element Sports. They do a lot of bike riding. They do some kayaking, but a lot of bike riding, a lot of mountain bikes. Our own Josh, the owner, is a passionate mountain biker. He knows all the trails. He knows where to go. They have all these little custom trails and all these custom little trips that you can take. And they do guided trips as well there. So if you are more into the mountain biking side of things, go check out Element Sports. They do a great job. And they're down close to Weems Lane. They're right on kind of, I'm trying to think of the crossroad over there, but they're really close to the corner cross.
Featherbed and Weems, yeah.
And Weems,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, so all these great opportunities. And I want to mention really quick before we get to the end, I just went this past Friday. If you check out our Facebook page for the Discover Winchester Facebook page, there's a brand new operation. And this is an outdoor kind of walking recreation, but there is a new 4-wheel drive guided off-road outfitter that is at the Cove, the Appalachian Off-Road Adventures. And you can go up there. They just opened this past weekend. And you can go up there and you do a little orientation kind of ride in the Jeep, and then they hand you the keys and you get to drive it yourself. So
you don't even have to use your own vehicle?
No,
Which is good. You don't want to drive your own vehicle up there.
They have 3 Jeeps that you can rent, so you can have a group of up to 12 people. So you can do 4 per vehicle. And after you do the orientation trip, they have a Jeep, they have a 4th Jeep that they're always in the lead. So you're not out there completely by yourself, but they will be out there in the lead, and they hand you the keys and say, hey, here you go. Have fun. Oh, it's so much fun. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Wow.
And you can take your kids too. There's 21 plus driving restriction for the driver, but as long as your kid is securely and safely, properly secured in the back seat, you can take your 4-year-old. I was thinking my 4-year-old son would go bananas. He would absolutely love it so much, just having him in the back seat while we went and did that. But anyways, no, really, really cool.
Well, it's funny. Carrie Hahn, your counterpart in Shenandoah County, has been trying to get me, once this whole thing is over, to do more of the shows that are out doing the activities she's talking about. She wants me to go over to Fort Valley Ranch and do a radio show on horseback as we're doing a trail ride. But I am all in to be in a Jeep 4-wheeling while we're recording a radio show. So put that on our.
I was shooting our 360 video, and I was like, it popped right into my head. I was like, can I get Janet out here? I wonder if I can get Janet out here. I guess I can.
Well, we are going to wrap up today's conversation for Tourism Tuesday. We have been chatting with Justin Kearns from the Winchester Frederick County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Arthur Kearns and Gary Green have both been on the Zoom screen with us as well. I will put links to Winchester Cider Rocks, the Seneca Rocks rock climbing stuff, the mountain trails, the Winchester Wheelman. I will find it all, and it will all be on the show notes page on the podcast over at theriver953.com. And I will, Justin, see you in a month. Tomorrow is Winchester Chamber Day. So it's the Valley Business Today with the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. Ashley and I are going to have a conversation. I'm sure she's going to bring a couple of people with her. So we'll be back on the air tomorrow at noon. Meet me here then.